Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Tonight we have, welcome to Chapless. Tonight we have Priya Mataji for English recitations, and we have Rasalila Srimati Mataji for Sanskrit recitations. We will be reading verses 33 to 47 from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 24. Rasalila Mataji, please start with the invocation when you're ready. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Jyoti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So it's Canto 3, Chapter 24, and verses 33 to 47. Text 33. Paramam pradhanam purusham mahantam kalam kavim trivritam lokapalam atma anubhutya anugat prapancham swachanda shaktim kapilam prapadde.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
I've just joined Hare Krishna, and am I reading the text 34?
33, please.
33. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, descended in the form of Kapila, who is independently powerful and transcendental, who is the Supreme Person and the Lord of the sum of matter and the element of time, who is in fully cognizant maintainer of the universe under the three modes of nature, and who absorbs the material manifestations after their dissolution.
Text 34. Asmabhiprache adhyapatim prajanam Tvaya avatirna tviarna utapta kamaha Parivrajat padavim asthito aham Charishye tvam hidi yunjan vishokaha.
Translation. Today I have something to ask from you, who are the Lord of all living entities, since I have now been liberated by you from my debts to my Father, and since all my desires are fulfilled, I wish to accept the order of the itinerant medicine. Renouncing this family life, I wish to wander about free from lamentation, thinking always of you in my heart.
Shri Bhagwan Vacha Maya Proktam hi lokasya pramanam satyalokike Ath jani maya tubhyam yad avocham vritam mune.
The personality of Godhead, Gepel said, whatever I speak, whether directly or in scriptures, is authoritative in all respects for the people of the world. O Muni, because I told you before that I would become your son, I have descended to fulfill this truth.
Etan me janma lokesmin mumukshunam durashaya prasankhyanaya tattvanam sammataya atmadarshine.
My appearance in this world is especially to explain the philosophy of Sankhya, which is highly esteemed for self-realization by those desiring freedom from the entanglement of unnecessary material desires.
Esha atmapatho vyakto nashta kalena bhuyasa tam parvartyutam deham imam vidhi maya bhritam.
This path of self-realization, which is difficult to understand, has now been lost in the course of time. Please know that I have assumed this body of Kapila to introduce and explain this philosophy to human society again.
गच्छ कामं मया पृष्टो मयि सन्न्यसत् कर्मणा जित्वा सुदुर्जयं मृत्युम् अमृतत्वाय मा भजा.
Now, being sanctioned by me, go as you desire, surrendering all your activities to me, conquering insurmountable death. Worship me for eternal life.
माम् आत्मानं स्वयं ज्योति सर्वभूता गुहाशयम् आत्मनि एवात्मना वीक्ष्य विशोको अभयं ऋच्छसि.
In your own heart, through your intellect, you will always see me, the supreme self-engulfant soul dwelling within the hearts of all living entities. Thus you will achieve the state of eternal life, free from all lamentation and fear.
मात्र आध्यात्मिकीं विद्यां शमनीं सर्वकर्मणां वितिरिष्येय आचासो भयं च अतितरिष्यति.
I shall also describe this sublime knowledge, which is the door to spiritual life, to my mother, so that she also can attain perfection and self-realization, ending all reactions to fruitful activities. Thus she also will be freed from her material fear.
मैत्युवाच एवं समुदितस्तेन कपिलेन प्रजापतिः दक्षिणीकृत्य तां प्रीतो वनम् एवाजगामः.
Sri Maitreya said, thus when Kardama Muni, the progenitor of human society, was spoken to the fullness by his son Kapila in the circulated him, and with a good pacified mind, he at once left for the forest.
प्रत्वं संस्थितो मौनम् आत्मिका शरणो मुनिः निसङ्गो व्यचरत् क्षोणिम् अनाग्निरनिकेतनः.
The sage Gardama accepted silence as a vow in order to think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and take shelter of him exclusively. Without association, he traveled over the surface of the globe as a sannyasi, devoid of any relationship with fire or shelter.
मनोब्रह्मणि युञ्जानो यत्तत् सत् असता परं गुणा अवभासे विगुणा एकभक्त्या अनुभाविते.
He fixed his mind upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Para Brahman, who is beyond cause and effect, who manifests the three modes of material nature, who is beyond those three modes, and who is perceived only through unfailing devotional service.
निर्हङ्कृति निर्ममंश्च निर्द्वन्द्वा समदृक् प्रत्यक् प्रशान्त धीर धीरा प्रशान्तोर्मिर् इवोदधि.
Thus he gradually became unaffected by the false ego of material identity and became free from material affection, undisturbed, equal to everyone, and without duality. He could indeed see himself also. His mind was turned inwards and was perfectly calm, like an ocean unagitated by waves.
वासुदेवे भगवती सर्वज्ञे प्रत्याग आत्मनि परेणा भक्तिभावेन लब्ध्वा मुक्तबन्धना.
He thus became liberated from conditioned life and became self-situated in transcendental devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudevaya, the omniscient super soul within everyone.
आत्मानं सर्वभूतेषु भगवन्तम् अवस्थितम् अपश्यत् सर्वभूतानि भगवति अपि चात्मनि.
He began to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead is seated in everyone's heart, and that everyone is existing on him, because he is a super soul of everybody, of everyone.
इच्छाद्वेषविहीनेन सर्वत्र समचेतसा भगवद्भक्तियुक्तेन प्राप्ता भागवती गतिः.
Freed from all hatred and desire, Gardama Muni became Muni, being equal to everyone because of his discharging uncontaminated devotional service, ultimately attained the path back to Godhead.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
All glories
Thank
to
you.
Srila Prabhupada. Hare Bol.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Rasalila, Srimati Mataji, and Priya Mataji for your nice recitation.
Hare
Hare Krishna. So welcome, dear devotees, to today's chat session. We continue with our reading discussion of Canto number 3 and chapter number 25. Chapter entitled The Glories of Devotional Service. And today we'll be discussing text number 25 and 26. Just let me make sure I've got that right. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, it's 35 and 36.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it wrong.
Yeah.
I haven't read those verses. Let's see. 35 and 36. Okay. All right. Let's recite the Mangala Charanam prayers. Please feel free to join in, be unmuted mics.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. It is chapter 24, Prabhuji.
Chapter 24. Oh gosh. I'm all muddled up.
Sorry.
What did I see when I went to Chat Plus today? Yes, 24, 35, 36. Okay, just bear with me while I get my bearings right. I'll have to do a complete impromptu because I haven't even looked at these verses today. Okay. Okay, the renunciation of Kardamuni. Okay, let's carry on with the Mangala Charanam prayers, and then by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we'll see what we can discuss. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yata Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sahagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutan Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangini Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutidevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Turubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya, Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Paschcha Deshatarine. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So, chapter number 24, entitled The Renunciation of Karta Muni, text number 35. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Proktam Hilokasya Pramanam Sachalokike Atajani Maya Tubhyam Yadhavocham Ritam Mune. Word synonyms: Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, said, Maya, by me, Proktam, spoken, he, in fact, Lokasya, for the people.
Sorry, Prabhuji, can't see the screen, the
Oh,
verses, Prabhu. Sorry about that.
no, thank you for drawing to my attention, Mataji. I forgot. I didn't do that. Now that's good. You
I
can see
haven't seen that. No, it's not coming yet.
Oh,
Yes. Yes,
okay.
Prabhu.
Okay, good. Thank you for reminding me, Mataji.
Thank you.
Lokasya, for the people. Pramanam, authority. Satya, spoken in scripture. Lokike, and in ordinary speech. Atha, therefore. Ajani, there was birth. Maya, by me. Tubhyam, to you. Yat, that which. Avocham, I said. Ritam, true. Mune, O sage. Translation. The personality of Godhead, Kapila said, whatever I speak, whether directly or in the scriptures, is authoritative in all respects for the people of the world. O Muni, because I told you before that I would become your son, I have descended to fulfill this truth. Purport. Karda Muni was to leave his family life to completely engage in the service of the Lord. But since he knew that the Lord himself, as Kapila, had taken birth in his home as his own son, why was he preparing to leave home to search out self-realization, God-realization? God himself was present in his home. Why should he leave home? Such a question may certainly arise. But yet he said that whatever is spoken in the Vedas and whatever is practiced in accordance with the injunctions of the scripture of the Vedas is to be accepted as authoritative in society. Vedic authority says that a householder must leave home after his 50th year. Panchasorbham vanam vrajet. One must leave his family life and enter the forest after the age of 50. This is an authoritative statement of the Vedas, based on the divisional of social life into 4 departments of activity: brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. Karda Muni practiced yoga very rigidly as a brahmachari before his marriage, and he became so powerful and attained so much mystic power that his father Brahma ordered him to marry and beget children as a householder. Kardam did that also. He begot 9 good daughters and 1 son, Kapila Muni. And thus his household duty was also performed nicely, and now his duty was to leave. Even though he had the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his son, he had to respect the authority of the Vedas. This is a very important lesson. Even if one has God in his home as his son, one should still follow the Vedic injunctions. It is said, Mahajano yena gata sapanta. One should traverse the path which is followed by great personalities. Karda Muni's example is very instructive. For in spite of having the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his son, he left home just to obey the authority of the Vedic injunction. Karda Muni states here, the main purpose of his leaving home, while traveling all over the world as a mendicant, he would always remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead within his heart, and thereby be freed from all anxieties of material existence. In this age of Kali Yuga, sannyas is prohibited because persons in this age are all Shudras and cannot follow the rules and regulations of sannyas life. It is very commonly found that so-called sannyasis are addicted to nonsense, even to having private relationships with women. This is the abominable situation in this age. Although they dress themselves as sannyasis, they still cannot free themselves from the four principles of sinful life, namely illicit sex, life, meat-eating, intoxication, and gambling. Since they are not freed from these four principles, they are cheating the public by posing as swamis. In Kali Yuga, the injunction is that no one should accept sannyas. Of course, those who actually follow the rules and regulations must take sannyas. Generally, people are unable to accept sannyas life, and therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stressed, Kalau nasteva, 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 eva gatir anyata. In this age of Kali, there is no alternative than to chant the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. The main purpose of sannyas life is to be in constant companionship with the Supreme Lord, either by thinking of him within the heart or hearing of him through oral reception. In this age, hearing is more important than thinking, because one's thinking may be disturbed by mental agitation. But if one concentrates on hearing, he will be forced to associate with the sound vibration of Krishna. Krishna and the sound vibration Krishna are non-different. So if one loudly vibrates Hare Krishna, he will be able to think of Krishna immediately. The process of chanting is the best process of self-realization in this age. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya preached it so nicely for the benefit of all humanity. So Srila Prabhupada has packed a lot into this purport, a lot of valuable instructions. Srila Prabhupada starts off by raising a very pertinent question. He says, or I'm paraphrasing here, that the whole purpose of spiritual life is to come to the point of thinking of Krishna, associating with Krishna, serving Krishna. So in the example of Karada Muni, Krishna had come as his son. Krishna was in his household. But yet he was now leaving the house to take sannyas. So someone may question, how does this make sense? You are searching out the Supreme. The Supreme has come in your house as your son, and now you're leaving your house. Who would like to paraphrase in their own words how Srila Prabhupada answers this question? A very, very nice, intelligent question. Devotees, if you've been listening carefully, tell me in your own words how Srila Prabhupada addresses this question that may arise as he say. Prabhupada answers it so beautifully in the purport.
Hare
Anyone?
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
May I try?
Certainly.
I think Srila Prabhupada is trying to say that once you have fulfilled your duties, you should detach yourself when the right time comes. So even though the Supreme Personality of Godhead has come down as Kapila Dev, as the Kardama Muni's son, but as far as the Kardama Muni is concerned, he has fulfilled his duties that he had come down for. So it was time to detach from the material world and totally devote his attention to Krishna.
Nice answer. Very nice. Anyone likes to also say in their own words?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Kanta Mataji.
Maybe he wanted to travel to teach the whole world, but he learned. Because if he stays home, then he just can't teach, go travel the world. You sannyasi, that's what sannyasi do. They travel the world to teach the people about Krishna. That's all I can say, Prabhuji. Sorry.
That's a nice perspective. Nice perspective. You are saying that he wanted to fulfill the duty.
Yeah.
Yes. So both very nice answers. So Prabhupada says, a very important aspect of Vedic life is to act dutifully. Under all circumstances, one should perform one's duty. Duty comes first. And Prabhupada says it is an injunction in the scripture that all householder men at the age of 50 should leave home and take to sannyas. And what is the main duty of a sannyas? Prabhupada says the main duty and the foremost duty of a sannyas is to always think about Krishna. And we know thinking about Krishna is being with Krishna. So Kardama Muni, by taking sannyas, he was actually accomplishing two principles. Firstly, he was teaching by example. He was following the Vedic injunction. And the instructions of the Lord is paramount, foremost, to follow. And by taking sannyas and thinking of the Lord all the time, he was associating with the Lord. Just like if he was at home, he'd be associating with the Lord. So he was not, he was doing the right thing. But later on, Prabhupada sort of changes his angle a bit. Prabhupada says in Kali Yuga, things are a bit different. In Kali Yuga, everyone is Shudra. So no one is advised to take sannyas. Because we know from example, so many times in Kali Yuga, sannyasis do not follow the principles and they associate with women. But Prabhupada says, in this Kali Yuga, one in effect can be, in one sense, be accepted to be on the platform of sannyas life. So how is it possible in Kali Yuga, where Prabhupada says there's so much mental agitation? It's so difficult to focus one's mind on Krishna. How is it in Kali Yuga that even a so-called Shudra-like person can come to the same platform as a sannyas? The topmost platform of the sannyas is once a sannyas who is constantly thinking of Krishna. Prabhupada is saying something so important here, so magnificent, which highlights the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says, in this age of Kali, simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because Krishna and his name are non-different. Krishna is the same as his name. Simply by constantly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one is able to think of Krishna immediately. And if one is thinking of Krishna immediately and always, because one can always chant Hare Krishna, then one is always on the platform of a sannyas. How wonderful is that? How amazing and how magnificent is this? That in Kali Yuga, although it's forbidden to take sannyas, although it is in the Vedic injunctions that a householder at the age of 50 has to take sannyas, that same householder who is deemed to be Shudra-like can rise up to the same platform as a sannyas simply by engaging constantly in vibrating the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This verse is so, purport is so glorious. So glorious. Prabhupada raises a question, answers it, brings it in the context of Kali Yuga, and then gives everyone so much of hope. When I was reading this purport, and I was reading about how Prabhupada is saying any man is his duty at the age of 50 to leave home and take sannyas. I'm thinking to myself, I'm almost 60 now. And for me, it's like the question of leaving home and taking sannyas feels very unnatural, not possible for me. And I started to feel, oh gosh, I can't live up to Vedic injunctions. And Prabhupada just raises up our hope by explaining, do not be despondent. Lord Chaitanya has come. He has preached the best process of self-realization. And that is the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. No matter, I mean, this talking about sannyas is applicable to mainly people in male bodies, but the principle itself here, sannyas, actually, if you think about it very deeply, sannyas is not a dress. It's not an ashram. Sannyas is a state of consciousness where one is internally renounced. One is always and constantly thinking of Krishna. So whether one is an elderly body, a young body, a male body, a female body, a mother or a father, a grandmother or grandfather, the same goal can be achieved by everyone. This is the mercy of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Any reflections or comments on that? Dear devotees, anyone has a reflection on what we just discussed?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, tender parents.
Hare Krishna.
I have a question here, playing devil's advocate here. If you forgive me, because I'm the devil, I can be a reasonable advocate. So we learn in Krishna Lila that the principle that the gopis apply is not one of duty, but one of pleasing Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond duty is the personal association with Krishna. So they leave their duties, supposedly Vedic duties of household life, serving their families are devotees as well. Yet the higher principle is to please Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
We see similarly in the Mahabharata an incident where Yudhishthir Maharaj has to go through hell because of complying with his Vedic injunction of duty of saying the truth compared to acting as Krishna's instructions were. So isn't the higher principle, and we're personalists, of course, we're not impersonalists. I mean, if you are leaving the personal association of the Lord to effectively meditate effectively on an impersonal form of the Lord, because meditation is by virtue in the name, and whereas the Lord is there in his home in personal capacity where he could do service, and you've just said that a state of sannyasi is a mental state, not necessarily a physical one. How do we reconcile that contradiction? Forgive me for my devil's advocacy here.
So the contradiction you're highlighting is
Kadama Muni acting on Vedic injunction being the higher principle of taking sannyas compared to serving the Lord who is personally present in his home.
okay. Very good question. Actually, question devil's advocate. Very nice. So the ultimate principle is to please Krishna. That's what devotional service means. As Rupa Goswami says in his definition of what is pure devotional service, one should serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires. So in the context of this particular pastime, as is highlighted in the verse itself and in the purport, Lord Kapila is more pleased with Kardamuni that he has chosen the path of renunciation and thinking about the Lord in sannyas, as sannyas. So the goal is achieved. He's doing what pleases the Lord the most. Does that answer you, Prabhu, what you've said?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So the whole purport, and even the verse itself is alluding to that the Lord is pleased by the action taken by Kartamuni. And that ultimately is what counts, is what pleases Krishna, not the Vedic injunction. And who knows? I mean, what is Kardamuni's consciousness? That yes, my Lord has come as my son, but even though he's come as my son, I know he wants me now to leave home and act as a sannyas and associate with him through thinking. Yeah. Nice question. Shall we move on, or anyone else has got some reflection they'd like to share about what we've discussed in this beautiful verse and purport? Okay. We shall move on. Text number 36. Etan me janma lokesman mumukshunam durasayat prashayang naya tatvanam Samatayatma darshane. Synonyms: etad, this, me, my, janma, birth, loke, in the world, asmin, in this, mumukshanam, by those great sages seeking liberation, durasayat, from unnecessary material desire, prasankhya, sankyanaya, for explaining tatvanam, of the truths, samataya, which is highly esteemed, atma darshane, in self-realization. Translation: my appearance in this world is especially to explain the philosophy of Sankhya, which is highly esteemed for self-realization by those desiring freedom from the entitlement of unnecessary material desires. Purport: here the word durasayat is very significant. Dur refers to trouble or dukkha, miseries. Asayat means from the shelter. We conditioned souls have taken shelter of the material body, which is full of troubles and miseries. Foolish people cannot understand the situation, and this is called ignorance, illusion, or the spell of Maya. Human society should very seriously understand that the body itself is the source of all miserable life. Modern civilization is supposed to be making advancement in scientific knowledge. But what is the scientific knowledge? It is based on bodily comforts only, without knowledge that however comfortably one maintains his body, the body is destructible, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, Antavanta eme deha. These bodies are destined to be destroyed. Nityas yoktaha sarir ranaha refers to the living soul or the living spark within the body. That soul is eternal, but the body is not eternal. For our activity, we must have a body. Without a body, without sense organs, there is no activity. But people are not inquiring whether it is possible to have an eternal body. Actually, they aspire for an eternal body because even though they engage in sense enjoyment, that sense enjoyment is not eternal. They are therefore in want of something which they can enjoy eternally, but they do not understand how to attain that perfection. Sankhya philosophy, therefore, as stated herein by Kapila Dev, is Tatvanam. Sankhya philosophy system is designed to afford understanding of the real truth. What is that real truth? The real truth is knowledge of how we get out of the body, material body, which is the source of all trouble. Lord Kapila's incarnation or descent is specially meant for this purpose. It is clearly stated here. So yeah, the purpose of the descent of the Lord in the form of Lord Kapila is very clearly explained. The purpose of the Lord is to give knowledge of how we can become detached from the material body, how we can become free from material entanglement. And to do this, the Lord is explaining Sankhya. Srila Prabhupada says Sankhya means to count or to analyze. So through analyzing, through analysis, one can come to the point of detachment from the material body and detachment from material entanglement. There is no question of spiritual life without becoming detached from the material body. So the Lord came to speak that. And the next chapter is very, very interesting. The Lord gets questioned by his mother, and the Lord speaks the culmination of Sankhya philosophy. Okay, so through Sankhya philosophy, you come to understand that you're not the body. So what is the next part? If I'm not the body, then who am I? I am the soul. That's Sankhya philosophy. Okay, if I am the soul, what is the function of the soul? What is the duty of the soul? Why is the soul here? And that culminates in devotional service. The duty of the soul, the function of the soul is to give pleasure to Krishna. And Lord Kapila goes straight for that in the next chapter. And that is we learn through this chapter, that is the culmination of the Sankhya philosophy. It should culminate in devotional service to Krishna. So I'll stop here, dear devotees. Thank you for your patient listening and your participation. If there's any questions or reflections or even corrections, I welcome it. Hare Krishna. Would anyone like to share what they take away from today's session? When they go to bed tonight, what is about today's session that we may think about? That's called a reflection. Anyone likes to share a reflection on today's session? From today's session.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
In terms of renunciation and taking sannyas after the age of 50, Srila Prabhupada has made it so much easier and achievable in that in this Kali Yuga, all we need to do is simply just chant the Hare Krishna mantra. And yes, how easy can it get than that? Yes. So yes, very, very blessed to have that guidance and try and get onto that path.
Thank you. That's also what I take away. That's the thing that sticks in my mind and encourages me the most from what we discussed today. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
As I was listening, I just came to the realization that, as you said, that in Kali Yuga, sannyas is not recommended. And my realization is that when we stay in household, if we keep ourselves detached and we leave everything on Krishna, and whatever is happening, take it as a will of Krishna, then probably we are in a mode of sannyas. Is that right?
True. True. Sannyas is a state of consciousness. You could be in the middle of a family life, but internally, your consciousness can be same as a renunciant.
Yes, and I also feel, sometimes like if for some reason, like for myself, I just tell you, if I feel insecure or anything, at the end, I just concentrate on Krishna and think about it, that why should I feel insecure? Because whatever is Krishna's will is going to happen. And I'm thinking of Krishna, so whatever will happen is good for me.
Brilliant.
And that takes my fear off. And I just think that way.
What a powerful realization, Mataji. We become so powerful. This knowledge is like that. This knowledge, this realization can make nothing in life can shake us. And that's something so powerful to have. Thank you. It's wonderful you have that realization.
Yeah, thank you for class, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Usha Mataji.
In a short term, always think of Krishna, never forget Krishna. That will be always with the Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Perfect.
Thank you for the nice class.
Perfect, Mataji. Lovely realization. Okay, shall we close then? Thank you very much, dear devotees, for your attendance and your participation. All glories to your service. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Panchakalpatarubhyacha, Kripa-sindhubhyacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo,
Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha.
Anantakoti
Vrindavan
Vaishnava,
Vrinda ki
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai,
jai,
Jai.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki
ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you so much, everybody, for
Thank you very much.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. Thank you
Hare
so much,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank
Hare
you.
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.